Hello, hello, Rhoda here. Welcome to my craft room. Today I'm going to show you how to make a digital work for you and do all the work. So we are going to look at a new Sneaky Pig journal. I went down to Mom's and got this little bird one that she got the other, I don't know, last year or earlier this year. But it has a dangle on the front that has a bird and a leaf. I thought that was real pretty. It was part of a chain. Do I have it in here close by? Here it is. Okay, I got it at Hobby Lobby. No, yes, at Hobby Lobby. And it had roses on it and birds. So I used the rose for a rose journal I did. And then the bird went for here. And I think I gave one to somebody in Happy Mail. It was $8.99, but I think it was 50% off of that. So I had at least 8 items dangling on there. So I thought that was like at least 50 cent a dangle, or a 50 cent a charm. And this little leaf I already had from a previous thing. And then my sweet cousin Phyllis had sent me a card, a thank you card, I believe it was. And it had this gorgeous image on it. And I just had to use it. I love the bird. I love the old-fashioned watering can and all the beautiful flowers. There was even a butterfly in here. And I think a few other bugs, I'm not sure. But I just loved it. Now, the type of closure I made on this, I don't know if people have called this a belt loop closure. But I made sure that I had a little cavity that I left in there that was about this big, that was unglued, and that's where that goes down into. And you can make it as tight as you want or loosen it. So if you put more in your journal, you've got more room to squeeze or to let it out. And then I just glued it underneath of this image that was on the back. And I did do a couple of stamps in here of birds. I'm not crazy about it, but oh well. And then I just had a cloth piece on the spine because this journal stands up. That is the way I had made it. And yeah, I think she had it setting a weird way down there on her shelf, so I had to retrain it a little bit. Like, you just keep pushing it back and it would set. She done had it sitting sideways, and see that doesn't want, and it's 2 signatures. And so once you open it, you actually do open it this way, just like it shows on the outside. So I made this position or orientation on the inside of the cover. In here, this is a actual what do you call that? A paper clip, an altered paper clip that comes off. I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to get it off. There we go. So yes, it was a little altered paper clip I made a while back. And had 2 sides covered, and then it's got the paper clip hidden inside. Maybe that's called a hidden paper clip. Okay, so that helped hold this piece in to this pocket over here on the back side. And I'm not sure where that came from. I think that was just tucked in somewhere. I have to figure out where it goes back in. She also has something in this pocket, and I had a calendar, and the little thumbnails that were on the back page of the calendar showed you all the different birds through the months, and that's where I got this size. And this was a stamp, and this is a die cut. And I believe it had something inside. Oh, about the journal. So that was just what I'll put in my journals down at the shop, and it tells them about me and all the things about me and the journal itself. So this is an old Stamperia pad, and I love these little birds here. And so I made a little holder to keep the flap shut, and it comes open. I think I've showed you this before. Now, if I can find it, I will link this at the very end of the video on how this was made. I think it was a T crossover or something along those lines. But this is how it comes out. You unfold it. It's got a pretty phrase inside. And then you've got the purples. I put a little bird over here. It's got look deep into nature and then you will understand everything better. This says every flower is a soul blossoming in nature. Got a beautiful flower down here. And then on the back side, I had only small things with great care. And this was from Floral Alphabet. And I don't think that was the same Stamperia as this one. I think this was a different one. But it has all kinds of room in there to write on. And then you'll fold that back. And then you've got this. That was also from the Floral Alphabet Stamperia because it had this gorgeous little bird with a orange breast right there. You know, I'm a crazy fan for purple, so I love that. And then over here, you can see I just decorated the pocket with a rip of green paper that I had sprayed or something. It was just excess. And then a butterfly. I think I got that from Maremi Small Art. It was like a little workshop or something I did with her. So I want to make sure I get this back on here again. And you just push that down. And there we go. So we are ready. We are ready. So I'll put this back together again. And I'll give you another part of the sneaky peek. The next page. Or our next project. Okay. So what digital I picked out was called Autumn Garden by the Journal Boat. She may be the Journal Boater now on Etsy. Somebody had stolen her identity or her shop or something. And I think she had to change her name a bit. I think it says Simon Wilkes or something now as the shop owner as well. So, yeah, she had a lot of trouble. But yesterday I stuck this together. I picked out a 12 by 12 piece of scrap paper. It was one-sided, so the backside was white. But it had these gorgeous leaves on it. And the 12 by 12 part, what I did is my journals are always 6 by 9. And I'm trying to make this as simple as possible, yet with a few pretty details. So I'll take my 12 by 12 and I score it in half by 6, right through the middle. Then I'll score it on one end, whatever end I want to be the bottom, I guess you would say. I'll score that part at 3, and then that flips over. You do cut out a little piece in here where you're putting the two pockets up and gluing them down. But I've showed you this before, I think, on some of my simple journals a while back. And I may put one of them in the description box. One of my videos from where I did these in the description box so you can see how to make this. So I have stuff all over for you to look at. All right, so I had this scrap piece of paper. Well, it wasn't scrap. It was out of the book. But it had like a woodsy look to it, like a fall look. And I put that as my background instead of having that white. Now, I had things in my stash that I wanted to use up. I'd had them for a long time. Didn't know that I'd ever use them. So one of them was from, I think, the Dollar Tree. And it was these gold rub-ons of leaves. So I stuck them in here. I also had a bunch of these, what do you call that? That sellotape. And it had like a gold I smeared through the middle of it. And I've been trying to use those up in here. So this backside, I got this in Happy Mail. That was like a piece of material that they stamped on. And then I put a little bit of that sellotape there. I put a little bit of it up there to finish off kind of the look going there. I think it kind of turned out kind of cool. Then the front is it's Pineapple Stacked Pockets. It was a freebie by Pink Monarch Prints. And I got it. I'm on her newsletter. So if you get on some of these people's newsletters, you will get freebies. I know you can do that at Scrapbooking with me and the Pink Monarch Prints as well. So it'll be an email and she'll tell about her month or something. Or she actually sends you when, a lot of them will tell you when sales are happening and that kind of thing. So anyhow, I took this, which was a bunch of cutouts, and I made these two little pockets on the front. I just thought the colors went. I thought it was something fun. It wasn't like leaves like you'd always do on a, you know, a fall journal. And it had a little coconut nut. Pina colada. That is my drink. I don't drink very often, maybe like once every 2 or 3 years, and only at like New Year's usually. But when we went on the cruise to Alaska, I had one every night. I was celebrating. I also put a little bit of a maroon backdrop in here and another piece of sellotape, and somehow I messed up and got some glue over here and it won't come off. So I put this gold feather. I thought, why not? It kind of looks like a leaf. And then I just sewed it in with a 3-hole pamphlet stitch. And this is the front. I did a little bit of this off camera, you know. I'm always piddling around seeing what I want to do. And you can see more of those gold leaves. So it got the rest of them used up here. I've got more of the sellotape with a couple of pieces from the ephemera of the Autumn Garden kit. I think it had about 5 pages of ephemera. 4 or 5, I think. I had a leaf stamp from, let me find it. Here it is. I used this leaf from the Falling Leaves CMS 097. I believe Miss Jody sent this to me in some Happy Mail, and I really appreciate it, Jody. That's beautiful. I wish I'd done more fall things this year, but I just never got around to it. So I thought I'd make at least this one. And then I took a piece of my sellotape and a stamp of Autumn Greetings that I had on another little stamp pad over there. And then this is part of the kit. It's like every other one, like this and this is part of the Autumn Garden digital kit. And then the next one, it'll be my papers that I dyed that I thought would work well with either page on either side. So you can see how it goes. She had some backgrounds, which you're seeing now. This is one of my crumple papers. It has some pretty colors in her kits, like yellows and tans and I don't know if you call that pink or mauve. Or she had this one that was like a writing page, but it's also what these are for. You can use these for writing. And then I love the splotchy drips and things and the layering. See the wording in the back. And then she'll have like a little gingham check in there. And then she'll have the splotching. And then she'll have the actual focal point. I love all that. And then here's another type of background. And and this was a piece of, I don't know if it was a 12-inch. Maybe it was a 12-inch, 10 or 12 doily that I got from the Dollar Tree. And I had dyed it at one point to this color of like peachy pink, I guess. Well, yesterday, while I was playing with this, it's kind of rolled up because I had paint on it. When the doily was out flat, I thought, well, let me rub some orange ink on it. And it was nice and flat then. And then I put it over my doily. And I laid it flat like that. And then I kind of pushed it in and got the impression. And it didn't do that well of an impression. So I tried a pinker color over it and put that down. And it still didn't come out that bold. So what I did is I got in there with some vintage photo and a wet paintbrush. And I kind of smeared in where the veins were. Well, actually, that's right. I went over this with vintage photo on this side. This is like the leaf side that would face up when it's on the tree. And this is the bottom side, which has all the veins. Well, I also rubbed on this and put that down. I got a little bit of the veins to come out, as you can see, but not all of them. You can kind of see them in there. So, anyway, that's when I came in with the wet brush and the vintage photo and tried to paint in some little shadow marks and such. I did a little bit of a black outline around the outside of it. It didn't quite turn out like I wanted it to. And actually, it feels like I've still got orange ink or something somewhere. Oh, it was on the leaf. Let me go wash that real quick. Well, needless to say, I'm going to try that again with some ferns because I want to do some ferns for my specimen journal. on some pages, this handmade pages. Now, these are another item that I had that were excess. They were like rub-ons that I think Tommy sent me in Happy Mail. That's Paper Crafting with Miss Tommy. And they were just, I think from Temu or something. And a lot of these where I went and put some wet on here made the color bleed through. And you can still see a little bit of it. So I said, well, let me just use up all these leaves. And I put them on the back side and covered a lot. Now, it's a little tuck spot here if you want. And that's how I fixed that. And I thought it was kind of different. This is a little on the brighter side, but that's okay. All right, back to the digital. Here's another page of digital. And had some pinky, so I thought this page would go well with that. Here's a little bird and some words. And then I decided I had this little bit of netting that I still have left from the Dollar Tree. And it has the leaf patterns on it. Since this was just like plain pages, I thought, well, let me put that in there to kind of decorate it. And that was just a little scrap piece. And then this was a page I did a long time ago. And I didn't bring out any of those leaves, but they're like a little skeleton leaf. And I used them to dye. I thought they would give me the impression of the skeleton, but no, the ink came off of them. And you can kind of see it. You can almost see the veins in there as well. Almost. Yeah. So I thought, well, let me put a page of that in here. Now, from the piece on the front, the pineapple pockets, I had an extra piece. So that went here. That's like a little pocket. I thought the colors went good there. I used this as my center spread because I love the envelopes and the mailing kind of situation. Now, you can do a lot of stamping. That's just for fun. If you had anything with postage and correspondence and mailing, that would go really well through here because that's all through the kit. Love that flower. And this has something about a monthly magazine. And then there's the other side. But yeah, you can see I just kind of put them together. And the way I printed this page, so I would get the full digital. I had a little bit at the top and bottom, maybe 1/4 of an inch. It wasn't very much that I had to rip off. So you can see the pages I dyed are a little bit bigger, but that's okay. Sometimes you want a variation in the sizes of things in there like this. This even adds to it because it's such a different size. So if you have any extra pieces that's you can rip and put in here, that would do as fine as well, and you'd be getting rid of some scrap. That's always a good thing, right? And then here's the back side of that. I think I still got some of the leaf on here coming off. And I want to thank everybody for coming to visit and seeing what I'm doing today. I just thought this would give you an idea. You just take some of your own tea-dyed papers. It wouldn't have to be all these different colors. It's whatever digital you might have. I got all these digitals that I've bought over time. And I thought, well, instead of me doing a big elaborate journal, I'm just going to throw these together. One of my pages and one of the digital pages. And make a good sized journal that might last a month for somebody to write in. And, yeah, because the pages itself, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So there's 17 full pages altogether. So that, by 2, that's what, 34 each side or whatever. And then I think you even do another ×2 because you've got this side and that side. All right. I'm not always good with that calculation, but you've got at least a good monthly journal here. So I also put some of the old sellotape in here. I still got a couple pieces left over. Now what's left of the ephemera from here, I have an envelope. Now I'm not going to worry too much about the back side of all these things. Because that's just more work on you, But this white will go fine with this as well. And I have a few like journal card size things there. Let's see. Let me flip through and show. I got everything cut out. I don't even know that I'm going to ink anything. I've done a little bit of inking just here and there, but not much. Now there's one of the journal card tags. I guess you'd call it a tag. And then here was one. It's just really pale. And we have like a letter. And see, that's what I'm meaning, that a lot of these things, and this, that's a small envelope. I'll put that down here. Just another journal card. Or you can use these as tucks. Any of the above. I mean, whatever they give you, you don't have to use it. Like this is a tag shape. I don't really have to use it for a tag. I could like glue it down and tuck something in behind it here, and it'll be a pocket with a little decorative edge on it. So you have so many different things that you can do. I'll put that off to the side. That's another journal card. It's like a some kind of a farm, I think it was. And then here's that. Here's another little piece. You've got so many things to choose from and use. One of my very first journals that I did had to do with being out in nature and looking at the plants and animals. I used this scene. It really worked well. The little plaid is really cute in all of this. And then here's something about an orchard company. A very tiny little playing card. I don't... that could tuck in a little tiny tuck spot. And then we have this. And then there's something with... And I used this on the front of one of my journals before for fall. And then a big envelope. Yeah. And then it did come with pockets. I've got 4 pockets. These 3 I've already decorated. And as you can see, I kept it consistent by using a little bit of that. What did I call it? Sellotape. And then they have these pieces like that. The little labels. And they had 6 or 8 words. So I took a little bit of my scrap, and we're going to make one of the pockets over here. So I'm going to show you how I did it. And then that was what the pockets looked like. I didn't put anything on this one because it had the envelopes. We also have a big tag here. 2 more of these. It says thankful and believe, that I made up to put somewhere else in the journal. And then what's left here are 2 of these. There was 4 of them altogether. And I've already used 2 to decorate with. So, there we go. Now, I'm going to get my thing here up. So we can do some, whatever you call it, some scoring. I'm bad. I'm still tired. Oh, I need to film this so I can run down to Mom's and check on her after my brother leaves for work at 3. She's doing really good. She had a little operation on her neck the other day. She's about 85. Yeah, 83, 84, 85. So she does really well. She heals fast and has more energy than anybody I've ever seen. All right, was that all 4? Yeah. So that's why you'll see a lot of people that have like a black line down their scoreboard. It's not that I'm looking at the 3 that's up here at the top. Yeah, the 3 up here. I'm using it to line this piece up here and this piece up at the bottom, where this line looks like it's made into the print. And then I'm using that to go down and score. So that's what you use that for. And like here with this one, I always want to line it up and score it. And these little envelopes, I think some of the cards and such that I've showed you, I think some of them are made to fit in these envelopes. Now the one envelope, the big one over here, I'm using that. That's going to come off of a page. And then here is the pocket that we're going to make. And you're going to do the same thing. You're going to try to line up that bold line that they want you to score on that line there. And then we'll come down like that. And then like that. Okay. So all of our scoring is done. And now what you're going to want to do, whenever you do a pocket, you're going to want to tuck in the two sides first, then the bottom. Because if you tucked in the bottom first, whatever goes down in this pocket is going to hit that. It's going to hit that because these are holding it tight against, oh, sorry. These are holding it tight against there, so it's going to always hit it. Now, when it's on the outside, you're going to be threading it down like that, and it's going to go right past it. So, I know you've probably seen that tip on a lot of other people's pages, but it's always helpful to go by that. Okay, now I'm going to get my glue out here. I got my Barely Arts glue, my Art Glitter Glue bottle, because I love the bottle. And then I just put a little tap of glue, like right there, just to hold it shut. We are going to go and put more glue on these flat pieces when we put it into the journal. So that is done. That's holding shut. Then I have this green label, and I have Hope, and then I've got this little scrap that's got a little bit of gold on it. And I need to cut this, though, because it's a little too wide to go onto here. And I wanted to frame it so it will have a little bit more personality, I guess you want to say. All right, so I'm going to put a little bit of ink on these ends because the other two sides had a little bit of like a gray line, like it was inked. So we're going to do this and put a little bit on the back side. And I'm going to put it down on here somewhere where I'm going to get a lot of that gold to show. So I really think that's pretty. All right. Plus the word itself in here is a black, but it almost looks like a gray in some ways. So it goes with its background really nicely. All right, so that's not all I'm going to do there. I'm going to make sure I cut that evenly. This side looks a little off. And then also, if you see the way this label is made, it's got like a little kind of a corner cut on it. So we want it to kind of emulate that. So we're going to just cut the little corners like that. Okay, and then I'm going to hold this here and put some more glue on it. And then, yeah, put that right in the center. There. Okay. And then this had a big empty area up there, so I thought that would be perfect for this. Perfect. Okay. I love those little splotches, though. I don't want to cover them up if I can help it. Okay. And you got a little bit of the green going with this. And see the brown and the gold? See how it goes with that color? I thought that really matched well, so that's why I went with that background that I had. And like I said, I've always got my little pile of scraps over there that I can use, and I just go to town whenever I need one. All right, we're going to go ahead and do the letter or envelope. And if you wanted to get in here and do some inking on this background, you could. Let's see how much it's going to show. Yeah, it's because this one's not going to have, it's just going to tuck in a pocket. So let me go ahead and get a little bit of my vintage photo, and we'll just kind of smear it around here just to take the white off. It's not that it needs it, but it does kind of go with the color scheme, you know. All right. That'll work, and then we'll do something like that with this one. I just gotta guess where the actual square point goes down in here. I think it's about right there. So yeah, you can do this or you don't have to do this. If you want to leave it white, I see no problem leaving it white. And then that's less wear and tear on you and less time that you have to spend on it. Because see, that took me about, what, a couple minutes? It just depends on your aesthetic, what you visually like to see in, you know, your project. You know, it's what makes you happy, in other words. Because if you're not happy with how it looks, then by all means, go back and do inking and that kind of thing, if it makes you feel better. Sometimes you don't really need it, depending on the project. I usually will let my eye tell me which way to go with it. Now, I'm going to go ahead and glue this part shut. But, you know, I did say I didn't even have to do this because I was going to glue this part down. And, you know, I didn't have to. That's wasting my ink. Because the only part you would have seen is this in here. And I have to find what piece of paper in there I would like that to go on as well. Or, you know, the end of my page. We'll have to find a perfect spot for it. Alright, now that's ready to go. And I don't know what would fit inside of it. Which one of these? Too big, too big, too big. I know they're supposed to be making a piece that's to go inside. Nope. Maybe they didn't. I thought they usually did that. Well, it doesn't have to have anything. It could even have that little card there. We might just do that. There we go. Isn't that a pretty little envelope? Is that the same as this one? A little bit, but it looks like it's got more on it. Alright, let's go in here and find our page we want to put our flip out on. Because that will add to it. Now see, this one here doesn't have anything. That's pretty plain. Now, and then there's nothing on this side that you're going to mess with. So that might be a good spot for it right there. Now, the way I would like to do it is to have it to where it's going to be a tuck as well for something. So why don't we glue it like here and here? And then you got that little tuck area. Let's do that. So you turn around on this side because this is the part that needs to be glued down. And we're going to go up this edge. Then we're going to go up this edge. Now in some cases, if I have a skinny bookmark, I will take and just do a dot of glue here and then a line of glue there. And then I'm able to go up and down right through there. But I don't have a bookmark in this kit. Different kits have different things, so. Alright, now I'm going to take it. I want to pull it over here where you can see it. I'm going to take it and try to get it in the center. Pinch it. And bring it around real quick. And make sure I got the glue where I wanted it to be. Sometimes it may be easier just to put your envelope down, then glue it and flip it over. That was probably the easier way to do it, and I should have showed you that. But I didn't. Okay. Now, I always flip it back open, make sure I haven't glued anything I don't want to be glued. And then you can find like a little card to put in there. So I'll put that one in here. Now you can also decorate the outside here. So why don't we take Thankful and we'll put it out here. And glue that down. Kind of right there. There. Now we have a little bit of a decoration color on that page. Now we want to go through and probably find our pockets. Where there's 4 pockets, so we need to figure out where each one of our pockets needs to go. Now I wonder if I could put that little envelope down in there. Oh, that would work. Look, just like that. That's cute. And then I have a few stamps here. Like I have a flower pot, and then I have this little door. I really like that little door, so we're going to use that. So we can decorate this back side with something. Okay, we're just going to put it right there. So this is all you would do. You would just kind of go through, and I'm actually going to put me a little bit of washi to continue to, oh, that one won't rip, to continue this look. Okay, so we're going to put a little bit of this washi right here coming out from the side. Yeah. Like that. And then over here, I might put a little bit more. See if I can cut that. And we're going to actually put it on this side right here. Like that. I'm wanting to use up this washi because I'm going to make some more, and I'm going to make it lighter. And I got to get me that color. Is it mushroom in the alcohol inks? I think mushroom is the one everybody uses. Okay. Well, I'm thinking right here might make a good place for a pocket. And I usually try to make the pocket face out. You see how the slant is? I have a thing where I like to have it going, the skinny part is pointed toward the outside of the page, in other words. I don't know why I'm like that. That's just the way it works better for me. So you just put your glue all around the outside edges there, and then I'm going to kind of tuck it right there and make it go down. I always look at the edge here and this edge, or I'll look at the lower edge and make sure I'm straight. That's what keeps me on point. And if the page is a little crooked, that's the only bad thing. Because sometimes when you do your own papers, it will shrink up some of the sides a little more than you want it to. We'll come back through and do the filling of the pockets here in a little bit. I'm trying to figure out where the middle is. Where is that middle? Right there. So let's find maybe like right here. And yeah, I got pinks on here. That looks good. So we'll put that down. And everybody has their choice of glues. And I did a glue review somewhere way back. And I was saying why I like the Verily Arts the best. I used to use Elmer's. Oh my gosh, I had to wait for days. And there was so much moisture in Elmer's that things wrinkled. And I had to take all the books that I've read on my shelf and stack it on things. Now this page was one of my pokeberry pink pages that I had dyed. See how light it is back here? But you can kind of see the pink up in here. But yeah, that was pokeberry. It was like a berry that you get on this vine out there in the wild. And it made a really interesting impression. Now these little things are sticky. And you can put cornstarch on them, or the little cornstarch bag. Oh, let me see if I got one on hand. Here we go. This little thing, it comes with embossing folders and embossing powders. You can actually put that on here, and it sometimes takes care of that sticky. Let's see how that works now. See, it kind of killed the sticky. Let's do that on the other side. Where is it? Well, am I there yet? There we go. See, it's sticky. Okay, I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to finish putting in the pockets, and we'll come back and see if this is still sticky. I might have to add a little more. I don't know, but we'll find out. I thought I'd show you that little trick. I'm I'm thinking this, well, or this. See the dots? I like the dots there. And then I've got my little curve going out there. The way I like these to be pointed. The other night, I had to watch some of my spooky films. I had Invasion of the Body Snatchers recorded, so I got to watch that. And then I had The Haunting. Now, that's a good one. There's two versions, though. There's a black and white version, and then there's a, a more recent one with Catherine Zeta-Jones and Liam Neeson, and I forget the other ones that are in it, but yeah, the black and white, yeah, I think the black and whites are the better ones. I really do. Okay, who else? Okay, I also watched The Birds, all right? So I watched The Birds by Alfred Hitchcock. I had that recorded from way back, and I never even watched it. So I went ahead and did it. Well, I loved it. I mean, I think they colorized it, but, I mean, any of those old black and whites, they just have all of the personality and character. And that's why you see so many people remaking stuff nowadays. Because of these old ones. They were just so good. Now this gold, it was sort of like an alcohol ink kind of a addition, but I'll tell you, it's forever wanting to come off, so I keep rubbing at it with like a cloth, and yeah, it's sort of working and it's sort of not. Alright, so that's all of our pockets. Now let's get let me throw this up here, and we'll get all of our little pieces here. I'll stick this to the side. I still have a few decoration items, which are the little ticket, or the stamp, I mean, the little believe word, and another type of a label. I have that. That's a tag. And these pieces, which are all journal cards. Now, this could be made into a pocket if I need to, so I'm putting that down here. This is a smaller one, so this is also a possible pocket. And then we have a lot of these little small ones. Good grief. That's actually a journal card. Okay. I love the butterfly. I'm going to put him way out here to the side, because I may put him as like a little cluster kind of a thing. Alright, and these are tags. Alright, so let's go through and see what we want. Now, we need something in the front and back pockets, so let's go ahead and use these real big, pretty ones in the front and back. And see that little butterfly pops right up there. Oh, how pretty. And then the bird sticks up at the back, and he's got some of these colors in him. Perfect. Alright, now this, I don't know what to do here. I guess I'll just leave it. It could be we stamp something on it. I'll think about that, because that's more work. And then we have the possibility of putting maybe a pocket here. And this one's got yellow on it. See? So maybe we'll make us a little pocket right there that can be used with one of those tiny journal cards. Okay, let's do that. Yeah, I was trying to think the other day, what can I show them? What can I go about showing them? So I thought, well, I could do something about my different, I kind of like that. Yeah, I'll do that with my different digitals, because I'm going to do a what's on my desk next, I believe, and that will show you all of these. I'm going to turn that upside down so you can see that flower. I'm going to show you the next things that I'm going to be working in or with. And this is going to be one of them. So that's why I wanted to go ahead and do this one, so you can see how I did it. And then we can come back through and I'll show you my finished products as I go along. I really like that too. But it may be I have to go back here so I can balance out. Oh, so that's already got a pocket. That might not be too bad. It's kind of like this is in the foreground with the bird and everything, and then this can be in the background with the lake. I kind of was wanting to put it on that brown page, but I think this will work better. And I'm not putting any thumb pulls in the tops of these, as you can see. I don't really think I need to. A lot of cases, you don't need to put that thumb pull there. It's obvious, especially if you put something in it. It's going to be seen as it is. Now, if it's not going to harm anything up there and you want to put a thumb pull, go ahead. Oh, and the door. Perfect. We got the door. Goes with the cabin. All right, what's next? We got that one filled, that pocket. We have... Don't have anything up in here pocket-wise, but I may put my little butterfly here and see if there's like a little cluster system that I could do with him, like maybe that, and then this, or this, and then, well, that's a tag with a tag. That might not work. Okay. So, something like that. I think that might work. Yeah. Okay, let me see about putting these together. And then that... And I'm trying to think if I need to make it a tuck or if I'm going to make it... Okay. And then we're going to put this up underneath it here to catch all that. Yeah, and I'm trying to figure out if I want to make it a tuck for something. How many of these do I have left? Let me see what I've got. Let me poke that out like that. And we're going to finish filling our pockets. Okay, I need something in this one. I'm going to stick it up like that so you can see the flowers. And then we have... Oh, we had that pocket. Well, I do have this. Something. Yep, that'll work. It stands out against those flowers. That's what we needed. Then I have my netting. There's a lot of room in here, doesn't have anything, but you know, you got some pretty images. Oh, did you notice? I'm not having trouble. Oh, I had a little bit of stick there, just a little bit. Let me go back through and check this other one, because I didn't notice it this time. Where's the other one? Yeah, it's not as much. So see, it helps it. It's not totally stuck. Now, that fixed it for me. All right. Here's a pocket. Go like that. And then fill that pocket. I think there was one more back here, wasn't there? Yeah, right here. We'll just put this one here. Yeah. And I got that one filled. All right. So let's go back here, and I've still got these little ones that can go in places. I still got to believe. And yeah, we're gonna actually glue this down on this outside edge, or inside edge, I should say. That's going to be able to be a tuck. And I'm going to actually come up just so it's sort of a pocket in a way as well. So anything is not going to slide out of it. Is that the correct way to go? I think so. Okay. I'm going to take me a little bit of my cello tape. I still got a little bit of that. Well, and I'm going to see about putting some here somewhere. Maybe along the bottom. Yeah. I might have to put me a little bit of glue on it because in some cases it doesn't want to stick as well. Some of these I took off to try in places and I put it back on there and it took some of the sticky residue off of it. Alright, let me do a little wiping. Yeah, so if you've got stuff in your stash that you just haven't used, you can use those to decorate these type of things with. Like the extra piece of scrap. I mean, you saw how nice that makes that look. It's not like being, you know, swollen by that bunch of white that would have been around it. Alright, so we're going to put this little guy in here and kind of tuck him out. You can see the postmark, which is wonderful. I don't have anything right here, and I'm not that crazy about that orange, but you know, this might not be bad at all. Just kind of tucked right there. I'm trying to think. Would that... Because I've got these holes here. That's what always gets me. If I had something that went up and down like that, it would be perfect. You know. I don't know if I can get away with that or not. Well, let's put this one here. Is there any other pockets nearby? I've got that one. See what else I got back in here. Not too much. That kind of really looks good there, so we're going to make that a pocket. Okay, right here in the center. There. And then we'll tuck this little guy in there. These are just like little places they might want to secretly put something. I kind of like that there. I'm going to just go ahead and put that there. It's got like, see the pink over here on the edge? And then I've got sort of an outline kind of a look. And I thought this kind of makes the same impression over here. There, I think that'll work good. Now I'm going to put this in here with this. It just didn't have enough. Is there anything more interesting to see on that end? Yeah, I think so. Yeah. One more piece. One more piece. Now this could be put on as just maybe something. I'm going to just put it all the way down. I'm not worrying about putting anything else with it, except maybe that last piece of washi tape or sellotape. There. Okay, there we go. What do I have left? This piece of cello. Let's see what we can do. Okay. Maybe along the top so they know it's not a pocket. There. And I'm going to trim that little bit that's sticking off the edge. So we don't need that. Yeah. All right. I think she's done. I used up all that sellotape. I used up all those excess rub-ons that I had. I showed you a couple of things to fix. Oh gosh, it's almost an hour. I didn't know it took that long. Oh, all right. So let's go through it so you can see what we ended up with. And I'm still not sure how I'm going to close it, you know. I'm still working that out. I may end up taking just 2 eyelets and putting in there, and a little bit of string. Let's go ahead and do that. All right, let's look in my eyelet case here and see what I got. It doesn't have to be a big one. We can actually put on a couple of these small eyelets, although one of these gold ones or one of these dark ones might do better. Yep, let's do that. We'll use, are those the same color? No. Okay. Whichever one I'll pull out. And does that match? Okay, that matches. All right, so we'll use that. These don't cost that much, so it's not adding that much to your cost. Now, you may want to get something to measure with, and I'm going to just use this marker to put a dab there where I need to cut it out. Now, this is my 0, and I have to find, it's usually 4.5 on each end. Okay, and I'm going to go in just a little bit, and maybe about 1/2 inch in, we'll put this little dot. All right, and we're going to flip it, and we're going to do the same thing. 4.5 on each end, then about right here, I'll put a dot. Okay, and that's what I'm going to go by with my crocodile. And let's see, I need to get the big, yeah, right there. So we're going to go ahead and go in here and cut. Now make sure whatever you've got inside is not going to be in the way. So we're going to cut it right there. And it pops that out. And then while we're back here, we're just going to go ahead and put this in. And use the correct measurements to pop that in. All right. Oh, I think that did really nicely. Wow, I don't usually have it do that well. It usually explodes, you know, at the back. All right, let's get this out of the way. And there. Now, as you can see, I usually don't put ribbons and stuff in the top of my tags and such, like the 2 that went in the front and the back. But I may fix that. Oh gosh, what happened to that one? It's squished inward instead of outward. Oh, well, let's get another one. You do have those problems. They don't always cooperate. Is this that color? Yeah. Okay. Going in again. I don't think I had it in there correctly. All right, I gotta put this way. All right. Yep, did it right that time. And I have this ribbon. I've had it forever. It's underneath my counter. That's where it's pulling from. And I think I'll just cut it right there. And that will be what we put in our front and our back to tie it shut. Now, this is what I was saying that I hardly ever do anything with. Now, I have a small hole punch here. So I think with this front and the back tag, oh, that wasn't the right size. It's this one. We're going to go ahead and use a little bit of this ribbon as well. All right, where'd it go? There we go. All right, so I'm going to put a little piece here. So I got me a couple of little pieces. And what we're just going to do, and see, it's nice and thin. It's not going to take up that much room. So we're just going to put it in here. Let's see how it looks. Do I need to put an eyelet in that? Let's see. Let's put a little light gold one in here, since that's kind of the color that's up there. Okay. Then we're going to put our ribbon in. Just so there's something there. Sometimes people will staple. It's not acting like it wants to connect there, but yeah. That'll work. Go with the back one, do the same thing. Okay, I've got another little thing I'm going to do here. I wanted to stamp on the front of here. I think I mentioned something about putting some words or something, but right before it I have autumn greetings. So, and I put a little dab of fabric tack here because that little ribbon wasn't holding very well. So, yeah. So I think that'll work much better. Those can go in the front and the back like that. And then we're going to use one of these leaf stamps that I got from Miss Jody. And it's the falling leaves. And I think we're going to actually use another one a little further back. So, because I had another bare spot. Now I'm using my VersaFine Pigment Onyx Black just so I'll get a nice bold impression. I know there's not really a black here, but I think that'll work fine. Yeah, just like that. Yep, see? It kind of, you've got so much bright and color and everything. A little bit of black is not going to hurt at all. Not at all. And where else did I see that? I wanted to put... It may be on this thing here. Like I told you, I wasn't that crazy about it. Now there is a leaf here that looks like a maple leaf. And since that's what we actually have here... Alright, so we're going to take this. I had a visiting cat. I had to go out there and get Kitty to go back out the door. I heard some noise and he had been out there snacking on something. I left the basement door open so he took advantage. I wonder about that. That might work. I mean, it reflects that type of leaf is there, but you can't really see all of that leaf. And I didn't realize that until I gotten done, So let's see. Just put this here and see how it works out. Okay. Oh, I like that. I really like how that turned out. Yeah. Okay, let's make sure it's not wet. We'll give it a second to dry. Alright, so let's go to the other side, where the other part is, and we'll put that on the same thing. Okay. Yeah, my experiment here with the leaf didn't turn out exactly like I wanted it to. As you can see, sometimes your experiments don't. Alright. Yep, there we go. Alright, that can go to the side over here, so can that. This isn't quite dry, so sometimes I'll fan it. And sometimes you can use your heat gun, or you can dab with like a paper towel. Don't rub, just dab. And that takes that little bit of excess off. Oh, it went through as well. Yeah, oh well. Goodness gracious. I don't think it really detracts. It's actually kind of neat. Yeah, I'm fine with it. I don't think it detracts from that at all. Alright, so let's put in our tie cord. We're going to go in the back, and we're going to do it kind of like what we just did with the two tags. And it could be done like that, or it could be actually tied on. Sometimes I'll tie it if I think it's going to come off at the shop, so more than likely that's what I'm going to do. Let's do it like that. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll measure up to where that is. And I'll go ahead and I'll tie it like that, just so it never gets lost. All right, that'll work. Now let's do a flip through real quick. I know this is going, oh, it's taking more time than I thought. All right, so we have our pineapple, what was that called? It was the freebie that was called the Pineapple Stacked Pockets from the Pink Monarch prints. And so you got little things here that reminded me of this other kit, the Autumn Garden. You've got your pina colada and your pineapple there. And I thought those were cute. All right, we got our feather, we got our cello tape, and then we've got our front here. And, you know, there's a lot to this. There, you know, just putting a simple one together for me is like a lot. We have our stamp we just did here, which is really pretty. And our pocket here with the acorns and oak leaf. And then our pocket back here that holds this. This pocket has the pretty flowers and the vase. Oops. It's a little tight, but, you know, if you have something that's a little tight, I'm always telling you about wax. Like you can take a candle and rub on the edges of stuff. I sometimes will actually round the corners of my journal cards so things will slip in easier. Yeah, oh, much easier. Yeah, that wax does wonders. If you have an old candle stub, use that. You know, paraffin wax, whatever you think would work for that. I tilted this way so you could actually see the flower. It's very pale. That's why you didn't really have to do anything like a lot of inking or doing anything to the back. There's a lot of really white and pale areas in this digital that took care of that problem. Now this is our little cluster that we made that holds this, and it could hold whatever. You can see the little postage marks there, which is cute. This is the one we just did, and yeah, it's not sticking anymore. So the cornstarch powder bag, now we never did put anything in the pocket, which these are the pockets here, but that's okay. They could be used or they don't have to be. I just didn't want to cut that off. I think this orange is really pulled out in this area. That's why I really thought that worked together. Now here's your postcard. Now you can also go through here if you got some postcard type of stamps, which I do. You could put those in here. And that would add more to it. Or postmarks and that kind of thing. So sometimes you can do double or first generation, second generation stamping. You know how like the black was really bold there? I could have stamped that off first on something and then come back in, and that would have made it a whole lot lighter. Now we got that little guy there that's in this other pineapple pocket. And have such pretty colors. And the oranges and the pinks and some rusties. And we have this one that just adds a little bit of something to your page. And that one was not a pocket. It was just a little pretty. A little, it wasn't even a cluster, was it? It wasn't that much to it. And, there we go. It's another pocket with that in it. And our word hope. I love this little mark there. And here's the door with carta postale. And I thought it went well because this is the house. And I thought this looks like it's setting back. And then in the foreground you have the bird here in the tree. Or whatever that is. Yeah, so much room to write. So much. And we have memories on that one. And I guess that was a postcard. And then we have our back. Yep. And then how I intend to shut this is to thread this through the front and then tie a knot, or tie a bow. Tie it like that, and then like this. There. See? Just like that. And there is our little autumn journal. And I would probably price this at the shop. Maybe either 25 to 30. It just depends. There's more to it than doing a paper bag journal. And a lot more equipment was used. You know, the ribbons, the string, and other things that you would account for in your pricing. All right. Well, everybody, have a great, great day. Thank you to all my subscribers and viewers. Everybody take care. Bye-bye.